Hello everyone, it's me, Linux Robot Geek, once again, and I've decided to return back to the Cloud Native series, only this time we'll be learning more about continuous integration, and we'll be using GitHub Actions as our means to use that method. So in this video, we will learn about continuous integration, and we will learn about building and pushing an image with Docker, and then we'll do a demo with GitHub Actions. So let's get started. Welcome back. So let's start with what is continuous integration. So I'm here on the Atlassian website, and according to its definition, continuous integration, or CI, is a practice of automating the integration of code changes from multiple contributors into a single software project. Now, basically, this means is that if I made some changes to an application while it was running, then I would push those changes to the main application, and then those changes will be reflected. So with GitHub Actions, you'll learn how this is done. However, there are other tools other than GitHub Actions. For example, there is Jenkins, and there is also Circle CI. However, we will be using GitHub Actions on this repo here. So as you can see, this is a repo we will be using GitHub Actions on. So before we begin, let's talk about the YAML file we'll need for this. So here it is. Now I called it docker build.yaml. Here's the name. We call it docker build and push. And as you can see the comments, it says controls when the action will run. Triggers a workflow on push or pull request events, but only for the main branch. So in this case, I am pushing on the main branch, and I'm pull requesting on the main branch as well. You can change it if you want to use something else. Then of course, here we begin with jobs, and then we have a single job here called build, and then we have runs on Ubuntu latest. You can always change this. And then we have our steps. We have the name called checkout, actions. We have the QEMU, which is an emulation application. In this case, it's going to set it up for Docker. Then it's going to set up BuildX to build the image. Then we're going to log into Docker. And here we have under secrets, which I'll explain, we go to Docker Hub username for the username and Docker Hub token for the token. Once we are able to log in, then we have our application called build and push. Then we have Docker build push action v2. And then we have with contacts, which is the main directory. You need to change this if you're using something else. And then we're using Dockerfile as our main file. Our platform is Linux AMD 64, but of course if you're using ARM 64, you would add this here with a comma and just append it. And we're setting push to true, and then we're going to push it to this, to LED monitoring latest. And it's important to do this because we want it to push to this Docker Hub image here. So the next thing we need to do is go here. Let's go to the main website. We will go to actions. Now first, let me go to settings first. So you go to settings to create a secret. You go to secrets, and then you click on actions right here. And as you can see, I already have the token and the username already set up. So we'll go to actions, and then it says here we have a bunch of GitHub actions we can do. However, we're going to just set up a workflow ourselves. Now, we're going to edit our file. Now, to do this, we are going to do this. We're going to take all of this, copy, and then we'll do Control V, and then we'll call this Docker build. Now we may get some errors because that usually happens if we didn't configure this correctly. So make sure that if this does happen, make the changes. So we'll say created first actions. Now, when we commit our new file, it will save. So we'll go here back to our code, and it's already created the first actions. So it has these settings here. So this is just what's happening. So we'll click on here. This says some checks haven't completed yet. So we'll go to details. Now, of course, there's warnings. I wouldn't worry too much. If it does depreciate, you should change it. Now, of course, I've already logged in, and it's running the Docker image as usual. And there we go. It worked. So we were able to get this application running. Now, this is just the first time we did. However, we are going to do a demo where I'm going to simulate a change to the application code, and then we're going to push it to Docker Hub. So let's get started with that. All right, so let's begin. Now I should note that I forgot to show you on Docker Hub that when you push an image, it'll be updated. So here it updated 8 minutes ago. So when I did that, it updated to my Docker Hub. So let's run a demo. Now, to do this, I decided to update my code here. All I did was import JSON from Flask, and I added this status route, which will give me a JSON of result OK healthy, a status of 200, and then the MIME type here is application JSON. So it'll give me a JSON entry, and then it'll tell me status request successful. And then it'll simply just return the response. Now, I called it health check, but you can call it whatever you want. Now, to update this, we're going here. So I'm going to copy this. And let's not also forget JSON. So we'll go here. So let me just do a quick thing. Let me just increase the font a little bit. There we go. So we'll edit this file. So I'm going to do add JSON. Then I'm going here and add this after our main route. So we'll do Control V. And we will say added status route. Then we will commit those changes. We'll go back to code, and it says added status route. So we'll just wait for it to start. It'll take some time. It should appear here when we get to actions. So once it does, we will be ready. So go to actions, and then we'll go to added status route, build again. And as you can see here, it is pushing it. And there we go. And you can actually go back to actions here, and we can see our 2 successful workflow runs. And if we go back to code again, it says it was successful. So, or at least it has a green check. Let's refresh this. And there we go. If we go to see all, this was the latest one. So as you can see, this was a few seconds ago. So this is the latest tag. Of course, you can use any other tag you want. So we were able to get it to push. So if we kept doing this, we could add more changes to our application. So that's it for this demo. And that wraps things up for this video. However, this series is not over. As in the finale of the series, which is in the next video, we will learn about Kubernetes. We will also learn about Prometheus. We will learn about Grafana. And we will also learn about continuous integration by using ArgoCD. So, if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel so that you can catch the finale of the series and my other videos in the future. So, thank you for watching.